Ladies and gentlemen, it is finally time. The stars have aligned for Next Level Backyard Wrestling to make its Season 1 premiere. And what better way to do it than with a debut match? I am your hashtag true hero, the 1 Minute Man, and I will be presenting to you today the in-ring debut of Nick Partisan. Nick Partisan is new on the scene here in Nlbw and will be issuing an open challenge to any available member of the Nlbw roster. We will see who answers his challenge. Let's take it down to the ring. So for those of you who are not familiar with the colorful characters of the Nlbw roster, that is the Shark Fighter, one of the 4 men who competed at our first event, Nlbw Unrestricted. Nick Partisan, not impressed by the Shark Fighter, not hesitating to get into the action. There has been no bell, there is no official out there. This is not an Nlbw match right now. Nick Partisan's just taking it upon himself to assault the Shark Fighter. Power slam by Nick Partisan, really sending a message not only to the Shark Fighter, but anybody who intends to answer this open challenge. Like I said, this is not an official Nlbw matchup, but this does say a lot about Nick Partisan, not taking the Shark Fighter seriously, not giving him that right there. The man who just came through the curtain, that is Brandon the Bullet. He is the man who defeated Shark Fighter at the first show. I don't know if he's coming out to defend the Shark Fighter or if he's here to simply answer the challenge himself.
I'm here. What's your name, kid? Brandon the Bullet. Listen, I'm not fighting you tonight because you're not even worth my freaking time.
Partisan showing zero respect for Brandon the Bullet, and Brandon's gonna hand it right back to him. You're not gonna show me respect? Here's your ass with a chop. A nice reality check for Nick Partisan. You don't just go into a guy's house and disrespect him.
You want a competition?
Nick making his way to his feet here.
Come on.
I guess we're going to get that match after all. We got referee Patar Firebreather making his way to the ring. The bell has rung. This is an official match. It will be on the record. Brandon with a big miss on that clothesline. Nick just showing his dominance, lifting Brandon up, throwing him into the corner, and hitting him with those shoulder thrusts. Brandon coming back with more of those signature chops that we have gotten used to seeing from Brandon the Bullet. A big splash in the corner, going for a running bulldog, only to be dropped on his back by Nick Partisan. Nick having the clear strength advantage in this matchup.
That's what I do to your hero.
I take offense to that, sir. Brandon rolling out of the way of that splash, hitting him with the quick DDT. He has to capitalize here. Nick with an early kick out at 2. Brandon's gonna have to do a lot more work to keep this guy down. I don't know if it's the best idea for Brandon to exchange blows with a guy who has a clear strength advantage over him. Nick coming back with a swift knee and a spine buster. Gonna try to put him away now. Another early 2 kick out, this time by Brandon the Bullet.
He's not competition.
Nick Partisan seemingly in denial, frustrated with himself that this match is still going on at this point, that Brandon is putting up a fight against him. Nick ducking the clothesline, hitting him with an arching German suplex. That high angle German suplex could put him away. 1, 2. Brandon the Bullet kicking out, but noticeably later than on the previous fall. Some work seriously being done on Brandon the Bullet. I don't know how much longer, how many more moves he's going to be able to endure. Partisan calling for something. Hitting him with a spear, and this has got to be it.
1, 2, 3.
The arrogance of Nick Partisan, taking the time to pose for the camera, pose for the ladies, and declare himself the winner of this match.
You're a loser.
Still no respect for Brandon the Bullet.
Here to stay.
Nick Partisan, a true villain between those ropes, which only makes us wonder, what hero is going to step up next to face Nick Partisan?
There once was a man, and his name was God. This was only one. What's going to happen? Piece of literature. The most famous piece of literature ever known to mankind. In the beginning of the book, it so comfortably says, in the beginning. But then if you go all the way to the end, it says, the end. But in the middle, you can skip every line of paper in between because it all means this right here. I will be there. 16 times. 16 times. I will sit there and tell you there is this entry level of what we do. They, however, want to bring it to the next level. So, how can you go to the next level without the originator of the first level, the next level, the APLC? I am implementing the sources of one Cameron Jackson into a tournament to win gold.
Ladies and gentlemen, how does one follow up the impact that was just made by Nick Partisan in his NLBW debut? Perhaps with another NLBW debut, Hunter Knight has made it clear that he is here to inflict pain. Evan Blake is returning from last year, and he's got to be looking over his shoulder because he's got a masked assailant who has been making threats, who attacked him at the previous show, and to boot, we have Jay Genocide, Evan Blake's opponent from that very show. We don't know if he's in on it or not, but he is the special guest referee for this match. This is exciting. Let's go down to the ring and check out the action. Awaiting the two competitors in that ring right now, we have the maniacal Jay Genocide, the crazy clown minus the makeup, and he is the law in the middle of that ring right now. He is the special guest referee, and he is the only one who can come between this man, Hunter Knight, and his opponent, Evan Blake. What I can tell you about this match is what I know. I know that Hunter Knight and Evan Blake have some sort of connection that predates NLBW, and I also know that this man, Evan Blake, went one-on-one with Jay Genocide at NLBW Unrestricted, and they destroyed each other. And after the fact, Evan Blake was jumped by a masked man. Jay Genocide not only did nothing to help, he assisted, but we don't know if there's any actual connection between those two. Jay Genocide checking with both competitors. One of his guys clearly on the ring bell. The match has finally started, and we're going to see if he's going to be able to call this down the middle. I'm actually surprised to see that he's counting. He's doing the 5 count in the corner. Hunter hitting Evan Blake with a running hip attack in the corner. Hunter not letting Evan Blake breathe, going for an early pinfall, an early kick out at 2. I doubt that Hunter's intentions were to get a 3 count there. Sometimes, if you go for frequent pinfalls early on, it forces your opponent to use more energy kicking out every single time. It puts a lot of stress on them, and it wears down your opponent. That's a good strategy. He's got the rope. Hunter has Evan in some sort of Kimura lock. Trying to break him down a little bit. Evan Blake able to worm his way out of that, get him into an arm wrench. Trying to break Hunter down a little bit, working on their mat game. Not exactly sure what Evan Blake is going for here. It's very interesting. It's breaking him down. I don't know if it's going to necessarily get the submission. Evan Blake doesn't seem to think that either as he switches over into a headlock. Hunter Knight gaining some leverage with a cradle for Evan Blake to kick out at 2. That could have been a very sudden victory from Hunter Knight. Moves like that can end matches so quickly. Despite damage, it's all about reaction time. Evan Blake's in the corner. Hunter with the running clothesline. What's he planning? Going for a vertical suplex, and he nails it. He's got to go for the cover here. Evan Blake has taken a lot of damage thus far. Hunter Knight going for the fall, didn't hook the leg. I find that Hunter's style is really good for wearing down somebody like Evan Blake, but he's not very disciplined. Getting him back to his feet. Evan Blake getting a few strikes in, a few body shots, getting some kicks, giving him a little something, giving him that forearm. Hitting him with that elbow drop. We've seen Evan Blake perform that from a standing position, but we've also seen him perform it from the top rope. Will we be seeing that at any point today? Both men struggling to get to their feet. Hunter has dominated this match primarily. You may not be able to tell from this burst of energy that Evan Blake has. Both men are in a lot of pain, but Hunter Knight has shown that when he's in control, he can really break somebody down. And now he's gaining control again. Has him in a fireman carry. What's he going for? Some sort of Death Valley driver? Oh, Evan Blake was able to catch him underneath the chin and hit him with the cutter on the way down. Hunter Knight kicks out at 2. That is the closest that Evan Blake has been to winning this match thus far. Jay Genocide sounds like he is enjoying this match. And I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't too. Evan Blake going to the top rope. Maybe we're gonna see that signature flying elbow. Jay Genocide jumping for joy, and Evan Blake is jumping for the win. He rolls out of the way. Hunter Knight about to capitalize on this. Is he gonna hit him with a German suplex, and he's going to pick it up. He's not done with him yet.
More!
Another German suplex with Jay Genocide screaming for more. He is enjoying the punishment that Hunter Knight is inflicting on Evan Blake right now with a third German suplex. Hunter appears to be going for the cover. Gets the leg. Evan Blake gets his arm on the rope, seemingly unable to kick out, but was close enough to the rope to break the count. Despite being a little overexcited, you gotta give it to Jay Genocide. He is calling this match down the middle. He is counting when necessary, maybe getting a little too into it, a little too invested in the violence. Evan Blake regaining control, putting him in that fireman carry position. We know he's going for that swinging cutter. It's over. Evan Blake's got to go for the fall. Hunter Knight is rolling out of the ring. I don't know if that was his natural trajectory to just fall out of the ring, if that was calculated, or if it was just instinct, but that is the perfect thing that could have happened to Hunter. Now they have separation, both men are out, and they can both recollect themselves and come back a little bit stronger than before. Even though Hunter took a little bit of damage there, having this time to recollect himself might actually give him a chance to take this match back. Evan Blake back to his feet, getting in the face of Jay Genocide.
Son of a bitch.
If you haven't noticed, if you couldn't hear, Jay Genocide is not doing the 10 count. Usually the ref would do the 10 count, which would favor Evan Blake in this case. But I have to commend Jay Genocide. As much as I don't like him, he is letting the guys fight there, and we will not be satisfied with a count-out victory by either of these men. Hunter Knight catching him with a right, perhaps playing possum, tossing Evan Blake through a line of chairs. This could be it for Evan Blake, but Hunter Knight has to get him back into the ring to get the pinfall. There is no count out right now. He can't just go back into the ring and expect to win that way. Evan Blake is back. Just think about this. Evan could have won this match if Jay Genocide did do the count. As much as it's great for us, it's kind of crappy for Evan Blake, who easily could have had this match. Hunter's got to get him back up to his feet so that he can do something to put Evan Blake away. Got the knee. What's he going for? I think he's going to hit him with a pile driver. Pile driver. Evan Blake is down. He got dropped right on his dome. Hunter is going for the fall. Evan barely able to muster up the strength to kick out. Hunter throwing a tantrum right now. I can't even blame him. This match has been brutal on both of them, and he's had it so close so many times, and Evan Blake just won't give up. Whatever you say about Evan Blake, the guy brings the fight every time he gets into that ring. Hunter, tossing him into the ropes. I'm not sure what he's planning on doing at this point. What can he do?
Good night.
He's got him up in the fireman carry once again. What's he going for? Oh, he hits him with the cyclone. He's got him with the cyclone. He's gonna put him down. 1, 2, 3. What a debut from the scoundrel that is Hunter Knight. And what a performance from Evan Blake. He didn't quite have what it takes to put down Hunter in his first match, but these two, I'm sure, will cross paths at some point again in the future in NLBW. You gotta believe, Evan did everything he could. He took so much damage from Hunter. If these two went at it again, I don't... No. No, not this guy again. This is the masked man who has been haunting Evan Blake ever since NLBW Unrestricted, slithering his way into the ring. Jay Genocide just sitting back, watching to see what happens. Oh, he's got Evan Blake around the throat. Drops him with that choke slam, sending another message to Evan Blake. But you gotta wonder, what are the intentions of this masked assailant here in NLBW? Good night, everyone.